The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 17th day of December, 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring that we can do this with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman, and we'll have a news break from Teo Dill in a bit. How's everyone feeling on this hump day, the middle of the traditional work week? It's I think this is the second last full week of the year. Let me check my calendar because I don't want to be giving you. Yeah, this is the second last full week. Well, not really if you consider Christmas and Boxing Day. So this would be the last full week. But no, on the calendar, it's the second last full week of the calendar year. So hopefully your year is ending on a high. Hopefully everyone is out there having fun and enjoying the last days of 2025. Well, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome our friend from SCARS, Brenda Lee White. We're going to be discussing how we can protect Bermuda's children online during this holiday season. Yeah, children are out of school. They'll be probably getting new devices and spending time online. So very important conversation today. So make sure that you are locked in and that you're sharing with others. The daily play is going to be more holiday trivia today. Yep, more holiday trivia. And don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, audience, let's jump right into it. Question of the morning: what are your thoughts on the opposition's call on full membership of CARICOM? And do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? Well, what am I talking about? Well, Michael Fay and the One Bermuda Alliance, right, have demanded residents demand. Well, he's encouraged residents, to demand a full referendum on full membership of CARICOM after the Premier confirmed there's no intention to put the question to voters. Now, I'm looking at our friends over at the Royal Gazette, article by Fiona McWhirter. So it says, Michael Fay, the shadow Home Affairs Minister, insisted that his party believed the people of Bermuda should determine the matter. Government spokeswoman responded that public outreach on the matter was continuing and that neither the timeline nor the manner of public engagement will be set by the opposition. Well, folks, we're going to talk about this because it really does go beyond party politics. It really comes down to how decisions of national importance are made. The opposition's calling on the public to demand a referendum on whether Bermuda should become a full member of CARICOM. Government is basically saying the decision will be made through Parliament, not a public vote. And that raises a simple but powerful question. Because this is not just about CARICOM. Who should decide Bermuda's future on issues this big? Elected representatives or the people directly? CARICOM membership isn't just symbolic, it touches on our economy, our regional relationships, our identity, and potentially how we cooperate on trade, education, and labor. Supporters of CARICOM membership, full membership, say it strengthens regional ties and opens doors, while skeptics worry about unintended consequences and say that the public hasn't been fully informed yet. And that's the heart of the conversation. Even if you're undecided on CARICOM itself, many people are asking whether the process matters just as much as the outcome. We've held referendums before, and the issue was considered fundamental to who we are. So the question becomes, does this rise to that level? Today's conversation isn't about fear mongering or cheerleading. It's about voice, transparency, and trust. Should Bermudians have a direct say on full CARICOM membership? Or is this exactly what we elect government to decide? That's the discussion. That's what we need to figure out. Because the argument can be made that no, we had our referendum in February of this year. When we chose the government of the day, that was our referendum. Now let them go to work. While others are saying no, we chose the government to govern, and part of governing is listening to what the people want. And if the people want a referendum, then it's on the government to give it to them. So, what are your thoughts on the opposition's call on full membership of CARICOM? And do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? It's interesting because I think we could all agree that Bermuda could possibly benefit from some trade agreements with our cousins to the south. And the premier and his government says that what's it called, freedom to roam, or people to come into the country from other jurisdictions is not on the table. And I believe Bahamas is one whose full member is a country that doesn't allow that. So I know that's been a concern. But folks, you can be tuned in to your favorite radio station, bumping your head to music right now. You can be listening to your favorite podcast. You could be laying in bed looking at the sky, or you could be arguing with your children or spouse on your way to work. But whatever you are doing, every person in Bermuda should want to know what's going on with CARICOM and Bermuda. Everyone should have an idea or understanding. My concern, I've said it on this show before, and you all think I'm joking. Some of you just think I'm crazy. But I don't necessarily believe in democracy. And I'm a reason I don't, because I vote in the great, good United States of America. And some things that I vote that are on the ballot, I don't understand. Folks, I was honest with you last month. I had less than 24 hours to study about what was on the ballot, about who was on the ballot and what they represented. We have it easy in Bermuda. But my point is saying I don't necessarily agree with democracy, because a person like me, well, you're asking me to vote on a water bill that I don't even have an understanding. And I can't not vote because it's computerized. So you have to put something yes or no. While I understand and agree with the concept of a referendum, I think that the people need to be educated if they're going to go to the polls and vote on something. And unfortunately, I don't believe that the government has done enough to educate people on full CARICOM membership, but also I don't feel Bermudians care about things until they feel directly impacted. Let's be honest. We live in silos. We live in bubbles in this country. We drink, we party, sometimes even with the people who are causing us harm. Because we don't want the stress that comes with it. Ignorance is a comfortable and safe space to be. So, what are your thoughts, audience, on the opposition's call for full membership? What do you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts on the opposition's call for full membership on and CARICOM? And do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? Do you believe any laws should be decided by a referendum? Let's go to the audience. Suzanne Ingham says, we the people should be deciding our fate. It should not be left out of this major decision. I want to know what CARICOM is all about. Give me back bad, good, bad, and ugly. I want to decide for myself. Okay? Wants to decide for herself. So she wants a vote. So let's say they have a referendum, Suzanne. Are you going to go out and educate yourself? Are you going to go out and learn? Right? And I agree with WKD Lama here. Without information, referendums are pointless. So if we don't know or have the information about CARICOM full membership, what's the point in going to the polls and voting on it? Because at that point, you're just going to be voting on based on which side you support. The government has a job to educate the people, and the people have a job to seek information. I'm not quite sure we need a referendum, but I do believe we probably need information sessions. I do believe that the general public needs to spend more time reading than drinking and dancing. Let me stop because you all going to say I'm being judgmental and stuff, but this is real. Our lives can change simply by becoming a full member of CARICOM. And that could be a great thing, or it could be a bad thing. But it's a life-changing, an economic changing move for Bermuda, should they do that. What else, audience? What are your thoughts on the opposition's call on full membership of CARICOM? And do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? Dorian says, morning, membership does have its privileges. What I need to see is what full or partial membership entails. I agree. I agree, Dorian. I will continue to say, I believe that the government has a duty, which they did say, right? In fairness, a government spokeswoman did say that public outreach on the matter was continuing. So they did say that. Amari Simon says a referendum shouldn't be needed. The government should provide information. I agree. I agree. Rick Olson says, how would you feel if we joined the USA? Here's the thing, Rick Olson. I believe if partnerships are going to be beneficial for the people, especially the most vulnerable, I'm all for it. But I would need information on what that partnership with the USA would look like. See, Bermudians know and feel what the pros and cons are of being a colony of the UK, of Britain. The pros, oh, you can get the passport and it makes travel easier, right? The cons, we don't get to decide our own destiny. Ramon Smith asking, are there any useful benefits? Absolutely, trade. Simple, trade. There are a lot of things that we can benefit from joining CARICOM. probably more than being a colony of Britain. But that doesn't mean that it makes sense. That doesn't mean that there are not cons, and that doesn't mean that we should join. But we have to be honest. There are pros and cons to most everything. There are pros and cons to almost everything. Michelle White says, agree that I don't know much. Who will benefit more? How would Bermuda's economy and people benefit? We brag about punching above our weight, but can we, if carrying the Caribbean, also need info? Honestly, in this day and time, I'm not quite sure we have what it takes to carry anyone. We have a mature economy. Many of our Caribbean cousins have more space to grow than we do. We've had this conversation on the show before. There are many businesses, Bermudian businesses, who've been doing business in the Caribbean for years, saw opportunities. They didn't talk down on that. So they obviously found benefits. Audience, question of the morning. What are your thoughts on the opposition's call on full membership of CARICOM? And do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? This is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Sean Smith says, we did have a referendum when we became an associate member, but we had a public consultation. Follow the same process as before. Fair enough. Fair enough, Sean. That's fair. Maria Seaman, Pastor Dr. Maria Seaman says, it should be decided by the people. We remain. Politicians may not open and transparent. I see, here's the thing. And you all may say I'm being petty. We had a referendum in February, and you chose the government we have. That's why we're having this. We are having this conversation. So the referendum, we had one, and that referendum that we had, you gave the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party 24 seats to make these decisions without you. That's just me being real. I'm not saying I agree or don't agree, but you had a referendum, Bermuda. That's a pill that we all need to swallow. Mark Arthur says, good morning. I find it very interesting that I have not seen too much information about being a full member of CARICOM. Well, they say it's coming. They say it's coming. They say it's coming. I mean, I don't know the timeline on this, and maybe the government will let us know, but they say it's coming. Dr. Maria Seaman says, not I. I think that's in response to saying you all voted. Well, I don't mean individuals, but I mean as a country. That's what the country decided. Excuse me for not being clear, but as a country, that's what we decided. And Sean Smith, I was questioning. He says he's clarifying, should have been didn't regarding the referendum. Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't remember a referendum on becoming an associate member, but I'm just reading as you say. But I agree. Why not follow the same process? Yes or no, audience? Yes or no? Your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. What are your thoughts on the opposition's call on full membership of CARICOM? But a simple yes or no. Do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by a referendum? Yes or no? I completely understand why people say yes, but I am putting this on the people of Bermuda, every last one of us. When you voted in February 2025, that was your referendum. I'm going to lean on the side of no. Yes or no? Sean Smith says no to referendum. Mark Arthur says yes to a referendum. Anyone else? Rashida Godwin says the people will vote no, as usual. Yeah, yep. Dr. Maria Simmons says no. Have discussions. Yeah, I don't see the point of having. Okay, let me rephrase. I understand the point. I see the point of why people want a referendum. I do. But when Bermuda voted in February 2025, these discussions, these conversations have been, they've been talking about it before the election. You knew, if you were paying attention, this is something that David Burt-led government was looking to do. And if you have an issue and want a referendum, if that's you, then I'm sorry to say this to you, but you are a reason I probably don't necessarily agree with democracy as it is, where every and anyone can just vote. Because when people vote without understanding, we end up with some of the people who are our elected officials. Not trying to be offensive, just trying to keep it real. Sean Smith says Bermuda are members of a lot of international bodies that we did not have a referendum on that affect our lives economically every day. What is the difference now? See, I see where you're going, brother. I think that's a valid point. I mean, truthfully, we didn't have a referendum on becoming a British colony, but we did have one on whether to leave, and we chose no. So the question comes down to, why don't you want to leave Mama Britain, but you want to not join your cousins to the south? That's the question we should ask. The responses from different people may either shock you or confirm a lot. Do you believe full CARICOM membership should be decided by referendum? Suzanne Ingham says, no, I want information on it first, then I will decide. Manuela John says, if Bermuda referendum decides on full membership, is the final decision up to the UK? That's a good question, because we have to go through them for everything else. But I'm not quite sure. I know when we started these conversations, Sir John had a press conference. We were speaking about what it would do to the relationship with the US, and it was a lot going on. I'll have to check that out. Dr. Maria Siemens says, in both cases, we proved we cannot take care of ourselves. I don't think we want to. We don't want to grow up and be adults. That's not, again, this is not to be offensive. This is just real. We don't want the responsibility. We've proven that in our actions, in our thoughts. I said it a couple weeks ago. It amazes me how an independent Bermuda scares the living daylights out of people. Amazing how much that scares the living daylights out of people. Rick Olson says, if we don't like being a member of CARICOM, can't we just quit? If so, what do we have to lose? Tossie 2510 says, we can't carry ourselves at this point. So what does full membership entail? We need to know, because as an associate, obviously doesn't help us much. I believe we the people need to know more first. The government of Bermuda needs to know that this is on them. And I really hope that anyone who's in cabinet or, an elected member of the House on either side hears you all this morning and understands where your minds are at. I do. Folks, this was your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. We got the Daily Hour news break coming up with Teo, and then we've got our good friend Brenda Lee White from SCARS coming on, protecting children online this holiday season. Don't go anywhere.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
Alrighty, folks, let's go to Teo Dill for your Daily Hour news break.
Good morning, I'm Teo Dill, and welcome to your TDH News Break, brought to you by the great folks at Peoples. From prescriptions to daily essentials, Peoples Pharmacy is where wellness begins and community grows together. Now, flu season is still rolling, and residents are urged to protect themselves, their families, and friends by getting vaccinated. This from the Ministry of Health, sharing they've observed an increase on the island in reports of fever and respiratory symptoms, including the common cold, COVID-19, and, of course, influenza. There's also been a rise in gastroenteritis cases, which includes E. coli and salmonella. You can get the flu vaccine at the Hamilton Health Clinic on Victoria Street for just $20, and it's free if you're over 65. Now, Health Minister Kim Wilson encouraged the community to be extra careful over the holiday by, quote, practicing good hygiene, staying home when unwell, and keeping vaccinations up to date. We can reduce the spread of illness and protect those most vulnerable. Now, all this matters even more than usual because a brand new flu strain is causing more hospitalizations and serious illness in more people than is typical all over the world. In fact, nearly doubling the number of folks needing inpatient hospital care in the UK.
In the first week or so of December, we saw as many cases as we did in the same period of time in the whole of November. So we're further ahead this year in terms of an earlier onset of flu and a higher peak. We are expecting it to get worse over the next 2 weeks as well. So things are really critical at the moment.
Last week, an average of 2,660 patients in England were treated in hospital for the virus, up more than 40% from the same period last year. Writing in the Times, the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, said it's left the health service facing a challenge unlike any it has seen since the pandemic.
And in case you were wondering, the flu is also beating up the U.S. something terrible, the place where most of us go on vacation and most of our visitors come from. I'm just saying. Now, a weapon and drug-carrying prowler was taken into custody by police while he was sneaking around a Southampton home, while many of us would either have been sleeping in or getting ready for church. About 9:15 last Sunday, BPS officers responded to a report of a prowler at a Middle Road Southampton residence. Once they arrived, they discovered a man at the location who didn't have a reasonable explanation as to why he was there. Following a search, they found the man had a knife along with some illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia and a handful of outstanding warrants. As a result, he was arrested for the crimes that you would expect. That is possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug equipment, possession of a bladed article in a public place, and those pesky warrants. Now, Bermuda handles over 80% of all U.S. life and annuity insurance reserves that have been offshored, and U.S. regulators have decided to tighten up the oversight on this particular part of the financial services industry that, at this point, we basically own. The relevant regulation is called Actuarial Guideline 55, very dramatic name, and it requires that U.S. insurance companies who transfer their risk to demonstrate that offshore liabilities are fully backed by safer assets. Basically, it all places additional scrutiny on the reserve supporting some of the largest life and annuity reinsurance arrangements on the planet, which means it could cost more for us to do this kind of business here to satisfy the new regulatory standards. Now, the regulators say the point is to make it easier for them to observe, trace, and explain this category of transaction. Now, today's not expected to be as cold as yesterday, especially last night, but it's still going to be pretty chilly. The air temps will remain in the 60s alongside a bit of early rain, followed by extended periods of sun, all driven by high pressure, keeping the weather relatively settled for most of the rest of this week. However, a cold front is headed our way that should arrive around Friday night. We'll tell you more about it when we get closer to the weekend. And that's your TDH News Break, brought to you by our friends at Peoples. I'm Teo Dill. Now back to the show.
All right, thanks so much for that, Tate. Folks, take your vitamins. Be careful. That's the other thing about being around a lot of people this time of year. My sister, my business partner, that got the sniffles. I was in Caesar's pharmacy yesterday to drop something off. Hit me. I needed some emergency. And take your vitamins. I literally took my vitamins for the first time since I've been to Bermuda last night. It's a week I've been in Bermuda. Just took my vitamins. Take your vitamins. Keep your immune system going, and be respectful if you're sick. Real quickly, before I give you the days of the year, Dorian says, as it relates to our conversation this morning, as the RG has been quite vocal against Bermuda joining CARICOM, they should interview the Gibbons Group and CG Insurance, who have numerous businesses throughout CARICOM, and get their take on it. Well, I didn't name businesses earlier, but that was the point I was. As I said, that businesses have gone down there for years and worked out pretty well for them economically. So why is it a problem now that Bermuda wants to Same. All right. Days of the year, folks. Oh, it's actually, we didn't plan it this way. I'm not sure Scars and Simone and Brandon Lee and Debbie and I planned it this way, but it's actually Device Appreciation Day. Yeah, device, online device. So be honest, audience. What device do you use regularly? What device do you use regularly you appreciate the most? And if one of you say calculator, I'm going to call you old. All right? I mean, I'm just saying, you usually have a calculator on your phone nowadays. I'm gonna say, so Sean Smith cheated. He said two. He says laptop and phone. I'm going to say, while I want to say my phone, I'm going to say my laptop. And the reason I'll say my laptop is because I don't do this show on my phone. I do it on my laptop. And my laptop gives me more leverage to do things. Like apps are great, but websites are better for what I do for a living. So I'm going to say my MacBook Pro. And after that, I'm going to say device-wise, my Rodecaster, which gives us all our sound effects and our audio, quality audio. Those would be my two devices. And Sean named two, I'm going to say two. Dr. Seaman says computer AI. Okay. Manuela Jones says cell phone. WKD Lama was very clear. Android smartphone. I'm with you. Haven't had both. And Android's just top notch. Tossie 2510 says my iPhone. Tanya Cheeseman says iPhone, iPad. Suzanne Ingham says at work PC and cell phone. And okay, all right. So a lot of people cell phone. Folks, do not go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with our very special guest for today. But in the meantime, if you have children, if you know someone who has children, you have nieces and nephews, godchildren, cousins, anyone that would be considered a child, send their parents, guardians, the link to this program this morning, because we are going to have one of the most important conversations in protecting our young people this holiday season. Do us that favor as a community. We'll be back after this short break. In the meantime, if you are streaming with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, or Instagram, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Take a look at our workforce for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Shoe bite? You can't say that. Oh, sorry. I'm just here practicing for my family game night this Christmas. Check it out. Shoe bite, Bermuda's own twist on the classic word guessing game, is here. Get ready for laughter, friendly chaos, and a whole lot of Bermuda flavor. And here's the best part. One lucky box has a golden ticket with a grand prize courtesy of One Communications. So visit BermudaTrivia.com to find out where to get yours today. Now shoe boy, I'm trying to practice for my family game night.
At HSBC, how we do business in our community is as important to us as what we do for our community.
This is the 6th year that HSBC has graciously funded the She Leads program. This year we have over 30 girls who have registered from middle schools across the island to participate in this real-world experience, which exposes young girls to all kinds of traits and qualities and skills that they will need as they move forward in their leadership journey. It's a really wonderful time to be a girl in the world. There are so many opportunities open, and we want to make sure that our girls are prepared to take the lead in whatever spaces that they move into. So this program provides them with really kind of the groundwork to get those careers and those life journeys started. We want to thank HSBC so much for contributing and being the major sponsor for this program. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to have our girls participate at no cost. Everything is provided for them thanks to HSBC, and we really want to thank them for their support with this program.
Thank you to all of the charities, corporate partners, and HSBC volunteers for your commitment to our community.
Every space has a message, whether it's a store, a government office, or a doctor's waiting room. With Store Tunes Radio, transform your environment with customized music and professional messaging that keeps people informed, engaged, and at ease. Easy to use, built for organizations of every kind. Powered by Bermuda Communications Group. Store Tunes Radio, the soundtrack to better customer experiences. Visit storetunesradio.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the Big Show. Jamal Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring that we can do this with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. I just want to say we got a really cool comment on Instagram regarding a device day. Miss Bermuda says, my mobilized wheelchair scooter, it provides me with a level of independence that allows me to access a world not designed for people with mobility disabilities. I absolutely love that response. So happy device day, folks. And devices are not just, cell phones and computers. There are so many devices that help people live lives that, they may not be able to live without, all right? And they need to get around. All right, without further ado, let's bring in our very special guest for the day. It's another conversation with our friends at SCARS, and you all tell us you love these community conversations. Let's give a warm TDH welcome to Brenda Lee White. Hello, good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you.
You look very festive.
Yes, it's that holiday season.
Absolutely. Well, I gotta ask you, since it's the holiday season and you just did days of the year, what is your favorite device?
Well, I can say my laptop and cell phone, as those are most used on a daily basis.
Okay. I should have never said what I said earlier. I wanted to see if someone would have said my calculator, right? Because I'm telling you, 20, 30 years ago, the calculator would have been everybody's, especially people who like me, who were not like the math kind of individuals, but yeah, calculator.
Remember now, the calculator is on the laptops and on the cell phones now. Hey.
But there are still some people, I'm not calling names. Yeah, they need that separate. But Brenda Lee, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone at SCARS for continuing to trust this platform to have conversations, these important community conversations with us. Audience, if you have any questions or comments throughout this conversation, you can send them through. We'll be happy to engage as many as possible. We're entering a time where children are going to be out of school. They're going to have less time to do homework or schoolwork and more time to do other things. Unlike when I was young, where we would go outside and play football, many children are on their devices. What are some of the biggest online risks parents should be aware of during this season?
You're definitely hitting it right, Jamal. It is being online, whether it's your cell phone, your laptop, or any devices that children have today, whether it's the old ones or I'm sure the new ones they're getting at Christmas. You know, predators are there. It's a serious and very dangerous situation right now, of this risk of adults grooming children online. So we must be very, very careful. Parents, please be aware of this. Listen to them, talk to them about the things that can happen when they're online, monitoring their access, what they have as access going forward in this holiday season.
It's interesting because you mentioned predators, and I remember this was about over 10 years ago, probably more like 15. It was a long time ago, and I remember saying to my mom, I have a bunch of first cousins who are much younger than me, at least some 15, 20 years. And one of them must have sent me a friend request on Facebook. I said, nope. I said, but that's your little cousin. I said, no, that's a child. Like for me, that's how I looked at it, right? I just look, no child needs to be connected with me, whether sibling or cousin, because at the end of the day, I mean, we talked football and everything, and I use certain language, but that's neither here nor there. But simply, there are conversations that I had that children should not have access to, right? And so I took that protection just then. But it's interesting because my mother at the time was like, but that's your cousin. And I think by the time I finished explaining to her that that's still a child, they're still a teenager. I'm like 30 years old. There's no need for them to be on my social media. Let's talk about that, like in terms of, predators often use online platforms to build trust. What early warning signs parents look for in a child's behavior or online interactions? Because now they're gaming with people they don't know, right?
That is correct. So, you have to set those boundaries, like I stated. Also, think this is Christmas time. We have family gatherings, we have parties, we're traveling, we're in hotels, we're in different spaces and around different people. We don't know these people. So look at our children having that free time to explore. And so they're exploring not just online, but also with people. So we must make sure, even when it comes to children of all ages, keeping the younger children away from the older children. Because we do have peer and peer as well that are online, and they're also grooming because they're older. So at the parties, know where your children are at. Checking on them periodically. Keeping doors open. No headphones during this time so you can hear who they're talking to. A good thing that we always mention, that someone mentioned to us even in the class, was if the door is closed and your child is on their device talking to someone, they actually have a stranger in their bedroom. A stranger. Because they're talking to them, they're getting information going back and forth. And so that person is now grooming your child and giving your child probably things that you're not giving them at this time. So parents, all our lives are busy, but we still need to check on our children periodically and have those what we call uncomfortable conversations, but conversations that need to be had, especially about body safety.
That hit right there. That audience, that hit. If your child is closed off in a room on their phone having a conversation, that person is in that room. That's a hit right there. And wow, I really hope people digest what you just said. Now, in Australia recently, they've got this social media ban. First country jurisdiction to do it, right? I believe Florida did something recently as well. But how can parents set these healthy boundaries without cutting their children off from digital spaces they enjoy, without taking them away from, that older cousin they like, or how can they discuss healthy boundaries?
Well, in order to discuss healthy boundaries, you have to have that relationship with your child. Have it where they can come to you and talk to you about anything, even the uncomfortable situations, or you have them talk to someone else that they're comfortable with. But you must be able to talk and have that relationship. And because now what you see that we're so busy in our lives, we're not sitting at the dinner table anymore having a meal together. And when you go out in public and you're in restaurants, the first thing you see is everybody on their device. We have to start using devices in their proper locations, not at the dinner table, not mom's in the kitchen, you're in the bedroom, and you're using your device to have a conversation. So this is now going back to normalcy and having normal conversations in front of each other and using your voice, not your device.
You know, I was told yesterday from a relative that another relative has their first crush. Yeah, relatives, not a teen yet. And well, how did you know? And the relative said they went through her phone.
Mm-hmm.
Speak about parents having access, because there are some people who argue, well, children need their privacy. I don't believe children need any privacy personally. And again, you all may say I'm crazy or overprotective. I don't have children. I'm not. But speak about whether children, the level of privacy they need as they grow older, and how parents can protect their children with this crush phase.
So privacy is going to the bathroom and closing the door for privacy. Privacy, you cannot touch my body parts. Being able to say no for unfavorable touches. But outside of that, parents need to know what their children are doing, what they're looking at on their devices. And with that, they should play with their kids from time to time. Get knowledge of what they're doing on their devices. And blocking some spaces where it's not good for a child to see. And allowing you to explain and have them understand as to why they shouldn't visit that site, why they shouldn't be talking to people they don't know, right down to the games. Knowing your audience, knowing the do's and don'ts, explaining to your kids that if you feel uncomfortable in any way, even slightly, I'm here. Come talk to me. If you feel uncomfortable, if you have an aunt that you can talk to, tell me that. Being open and transparent. And it needs to go both ways, because children today are very, very smart. They will try anything to get around us and to be able to still play that game. So you need to be aware.
I want to go to the audience. And audience, if you have any questions or comments, please send them through. Not sure if you, but Mark Arthur's asking, have any children in Bermuda been attacked on online platforms like Roblox or Fortnite? I don't even know what that is.
Well, Teo and Jamal, those are games now that kids are playing, especially Roblox and Fortnite. They're very, very popular. All the kids have them. All the kids want them. I mean, you got Roblox 1000, Roblox 5000. Their games, I do not know personally if Bermudians have been affected by this. I can say that even adults play these games. And so hence your child can be on playing these games with adults. And this is why I recommend, if you see them playing the game, don't say I don't want to know in your head. Go and learn the game, so you also know what to look out for when they're playing the game. Because something could be off. And if you're just walking across the bedroom saying, oh, yeah, he's just playing Roblox, he's just playing Fortnite, and you keep moving, it could be the child saying, oh, yeah, my mom just walked across. Out of sight, out of mind. And if that's a predator, he will start saying things because they're on the games too, especially them knowing that these are the games that are most popular.
When I was young, I actually played like FIFA and the NBA games a lot. But back then, to play against someone, they had to be present with you, right? So obviously, parents had more control, like what
Yes.
space you were going to be in. I just Googled Roblox, so I have an idea now. Online game platform and game creation system developed by Roblox Corporation. Da, 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 da. I'll read about it later. But I honestly, I heard of the Fortnite one. I think I've heard of that one. But in saying that, again, people who are parents my age, they just remember, well, no, games is just they're just games. Like we used to have people over our house and they would play and have fun in the room. I don't think people necessarily, even though you said what you said, understand the threat, because for them they may think it's safer because the person's on the other end of a computer line, right? Why is it not safer?
It's not safer because of the communication they're having.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the grooming aspect of it. That adult is grooming your child to say, to do, to meet, to give financial gains to tell you things that a child wants to hear, to have that separation between parents and me, the predator. So that's the sad part of it all, is that that person is grooming the child to want things and do things that benefits the predator and goes against parental advice. And this is where I say, parents, you need to have the relationship where children feel safe. They feel I can go to mommy and daddy and talk. And if they feel unsafe, they have a code word. Even mommy walking across the door and the child may say, mommy, I need my meds. The predator doesn't know he's on meds, but mom knows my child is not on medication, but immediately I need to react because that's my safe word, medicine. Have the safe words.
That's important. Safe words. For families who want more support this holiday season, does SCARS have any resources or trainings that you help adults become stronger protectors?
So what I can say, always visit the SCARS website, www.scarsbermuda.com. Go to resources and go to resources for parents. We have a lot of information there that will help you. And I also say visit Darkness to Light, our partner and collaborator through this that have trained us as facilitators to train adults in advocacy, awareness of child sexual abuse. So you can visit those two websites. For Darkness to Light, you'll go to www.d2, the number 2, owl.org/resources-for-adults-families/.
Thank you so much for this. Audience, I really hope if you have young people, people you know who have young people, you've gotten a conversation this morning. I mean, I've been educated. I didn't even know. Thank you, Mark Arthur, for that question about those specific games. Like I said, I had a conversation with a relative yesterday, and my immediate instincts kicked in as a protector, like, oh no, she doesn't have a crush, whatever. And it's like, wow, these days come where you have to let children be free and enjoy life, but how free should a child be? How far does that go? So I am grateful for the work that you and SCARS are doing. And Dorian says, Brenda Lee, in this new role, I'm extremely proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Well, thank you.
And Suzanne Ingham said, very well stated, Ms. White. Very well stated. You left us with quite a few things to ponder today. And I really do hope that throughout this holiday season, folks don't just remember what you said today, but throughout the year, all of the conversations we've had with SCARS, everything they've said, they've given us something to think about and act on. And as Rashida Godwin says, thank you for the work that you do and bringing awareness to this. It is so important.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, I thought I was relaxed, and I noticed myself the immediate change in me when I was told what I was told yesterday. It was like, oh, like it's something happened in me, and I was never that person with my sisters, right? So it was a change. So thank you, Miss Brenda Lee, and please do have yourself a wonderful holiday season. We look forward to more community conversations with yourself and your team in 2026.
Thank you so much, Jamal, and thank you for those listeners that was listening. I would just say be mindful, Merry Christmas, and be safe during this holiday season. Keep our children safe and let them talk. Let them be open and you be open with them.
Have a wonderful day. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Brenda Lee White from SCARS. Folks, if you appreciated that conversation and you believe more people need to hear what she said this morning, whatever platform you're on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, or Instagram, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like, help us beat the algorithm with such important information. We'll take our final break here. After this break, we'll give you a daily play. I'll wrap it up and let you go and enjoy the rest of your day. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
Warning. This video contains flashing lights.
Oh yeah, just getting her? We've been doing this all along.
Free sign-up, no dimensional weight, the fastest customs clearance, and the lowest prices. Now, that's ZipX.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazog Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Welcome back to the big show. Jamal Hartman here. Thanks again to Ms. Brenda Lee White and SCARS for these conversations. I love that you all love and appreciate these community conversations with SCARS, PALS, KBB. This is why this show was created. It's all about protecting, improving, and growing our community and cannot do that without some of our charitable partners that are empowering us to know better. So again, thank you to Scars for trusting our platform to add value to our community conversations. Also, thank you to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and HSBC for ensuring that we can do this with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. Folks, it is time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Big announcement here. We are pretty much, we're out of the new shoe buy game storage. So whatever's left in stores at this point is all you will have to purchase. So get out there. Flying Collars, People's Pharmacy, Brown & Co., the Phoenix stores all have shoe buy, and then Bermuda Bookstore, Caesars as well. Caesars Pharmacy also has it, and Bermuda Bookstore has Bermuda Trivia. So, folks, get out there. It is one of the best, no bias Bermudian games you will ever play in terms of fun and entertainment. So follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Audience, are you ready? It's holiday trivia today. We're about to give it to you. Here we go. What popular Christmas song, all right? What popular Christmas song was originally written for Thanksgiving? You all are Googling. You all are Googling. You took long. You Googling. Stacey Ann Brown got Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells it is. Jingle Bells it is. It was not Jamel. It was not Silver Bells. Close, close, close. But it was Jingle Bells, Michelle Grant. Dr. Seaman, it was not Chestnut Song. And that was the question on Monday. People didn't know that's called the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on the fire. But yes, it was Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. All right, folks, I've got to let you go. We've got 2 more shows to go in 2025. Tomorrow's guest, Dr. Maria Seaman, the reason for this. But let's wrap up today. Regardless of how you feel about whether Bermuda becomes a full member of CARICOM or not, the question is whether it should be decided by you or the people who you voted for. See, it's bigger than CARICOM. It's really about how we believe decisions should be made in the interest of our country. I think we should ponder on it and consider how to move going forward. As far as the conversation with Brenda Lee White, I am grateful for these conversations. As I stated, and I'm not joking, my attitude, my mood changed when I was told what I was told yesterday. I became protective mode. And I don't know if I was being over dramatic or just a responsible, caring, and loving relative. But in everything she said today, she literally gave us a playbook, a guide, into how to protect vulnerable young people. Take heed to ensure that they are protected and feel comfortable enough that they can say or tell you anything that they need here. All right, folks. I've got to give you a daily inspiration. I'll leave you with this. This is from my upcoming book, The Words Within. I love this. It's not how you start, it's how you improve. I'll leave you with that today. All right, folks. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, HSBC, for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio areas on Hot 1075 with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. Part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. ER is out. Peace.